The following is a special presentation of the World Baseball Classic. Tonight on the island of Puerto Rico, there is only one thing of any importance going on, and that is the World Baseball Classic. Nothing fires up a city like Team Puerto Rico opening up at Hiram B. Thorne Stadium, where the atmosphere will be over the top. In what is arguably this WBC's toughest pool, it's the team from Puerto Rico's time to entertain and thrill their hometown crowd. Can slugger Carlos Beltran and company make up for the absence of some of Puerto Rico's past tournament heroes and a thin pitching staff? The task is to tame relatively unknown but competent Team España, who earned their spot among the region's best with an impressive performance in the qualifiers. They'll be dancing in the aisle. Salsa, samba, move over. Puerto Rico, Spain, next. Welcome here to Puerto Rico. A couple of teams in day two get to open up their WBC play in front of a full house that'll be on hand to cheer for their home team. That's Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico takes on Spain here in day two and game two at Hiram B. Thorne Stadium. I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome, everybody. This is what they've been waiting for. This stadium has hosted all three of the World Baseball Classics, and when Puerto Rico plays, it is exciting.
Gary, and they have been a great host to the World Baseball Classic, as you mentioned, 2 previous years, but Puerto Rico has been very good playing the first round. They never lost. In fact, now the energy is felt not only inside the ballpark, but also all throughout the island.
Take a look at what Puerto Rico has done in the previous WBCs. In 06, they won all 3 games here, then were eliminated in the second round by Cuba. Cruz, Beltran were their leaders there. In 09, they won all 3 games that were played here in San Juan, led by Rodriguez and Delgado, then eliminated in the second round by the USA. A balanced team comes in here.
Well, they understand also that Edwin Rodriguez, their manager, has a great sense of how to compile a roster. He's got the veterans, he's got the youngsters, he's got a Carlos Beltran, along with a Yadier Molina, a true leader with the bat in the middle of the lineup, and a guy that can really control a running game, along with the guy they call Caballo Loco, Crazy Horse, Angel Pagan, world champion with the Giants, hoping to do some special things here for his country.
Now, obviously, Puerto Rico is going to be the heavily favored team in this game against Spain. Spain is not supposed to be here. Ranked 15th in the world, Mario Mazzotti is a legend in Italy when it comes to baseball, but their history there is short. They defeated Israel to qualify and advance here. They've got Canizares, who's a minor leaguer. He's one of their best players, but not a lot of names you're going to know.
And the way they got here is by counting on guys like Canizares, who has experience representing Cuba, his native country, in previous tournaments. But they're going to feed up this guy right here. Angel Beltran, the Rangers prospect, got him here by hitting .375 in that qualifier.
So we'll see whether or not they can get it done. You better be careful, though, in this World Baseball Classic. We've seen teams that aren't supposed to be here, aren't supposed to play well, aren't supposed to win, doing all that.
And Morrow said very clearly, 3 outs at a time. We're not just happy to be here. We want to compete.
All right, and it will be exciting, guaranteed. The fans will do that for you. The players will add to it. Here in Puerto Rico, they love their baseball and they love their team. It is a sellout for all of the games Puerto Rico's going to play here, beginning with this one against Spain tonight. Well, one of the toughest parts of this for the players is just waiting to get out there on the field. Puerto Rico is ready to go, and they will take the field before their home crowd here in San Juan, and will look to continue their perfect record in the WBC games they have played here at Hiram B. Thorne Stadium, 6-0 over the last 2 WBC events. And let's take a look at the lineup for Spain. Their big bat in that cleanup spot, Alvarez, Sanchez, Mershon, Nieto, and Suarez.
Well, they have a lot to at least build off of with the main guy because of the experience of the connoisseurs and the speed of Beltre. Now, for Giancarlo Alvarado on the mound for Puerto Rico, it's a matter of matching up well. And as Edwin Rodriguez told us, Gary, he thought by watching video and the scouting they had, Alvarado was the best matchup against what it is at times a free swinging ball club over there with Spain.
He is 35 years old, has pitched for the last 3 seasons in the Japanese League and has been effective there, but has not pitched a lot of games. He fanned 36 hitters in 47 innings during the winter ball experience he had, pitching for Puerto Rico, and a 3-2 record in winter ball after he finished up in Japan. Let's take a look at what the defense is going to look like tonight. Rios, Pagan, and Beltran. That's a good solid outfield. Same is true in the infield. Gonzalez, Aviles, Fallo, and Rivera, with one of the game's best catchers, Yadier Molina, behind the plate.
He pretty much sets the tone with the guys on the mound controlling the running game. And then you look all the way around. I mean, the range in the outfield and the experience in the infield should make a guy like Alvarado and the rest of that staff feel very comfortable by not working by themselves, especially with the pitch limitations that exist.
What has been impressed by Eddie Rodriguez on his team from Puerto Rico is do not look past this game. You're only going to get to play 3 games. If you're going to move on to the next round, you've got to win at least 2, and you do not want to have this first game be one of those that gets away from you while you're thinking about Venezuela and the Dominican Republic. No, Edwin Rodriguez will hope that that will not happen here in this game. And we welcome all of you who are just joining us here in Puerto Rico. We're just getting ready to get this game going. We'll see whether or not we end up with more upsets. Those of you joining us around the world on Major League Baseball International, this is game 2 in this pool here in Puerto Rico, with the Dominican coming away with the big win in the game last night over Venezuela by a score of 9-3. Now we'll see what happens here. Boy, you love to go in this tournament, which is so short, up 1-0. You give yourself a little breathing room. And we are ready to go. 35-year-old right-hander. Beltre stands in, will take the pitch. It will miss down low, and this game 2 is underway. Beltre played Double-A ball with the Rangers organization for Frisco this past season. Had a .261 average, 13 homers, 36 stolen bases. Great speed at the top of the order for him. And this youngster's got some great promise. Delivery to him, he'll take it again. It will miss up high, and the count goes to 2-0. Those joining us on the MLB Network, we welcome you as you have been watching that game between Italy and Canada. Boy, we have seen some teams playing a whole lot better than a lot of people expected. Can Spain continue to do what the Netherlands, what Italy has been able to do so far in this WBC?
I really believe, because of the history now of a couple of World Baseball Classics, Gary, teams and the way the rosters are structured are finding out more ways to win.
Yep. See Mazzati over there on the bench. That's going to be a ground ball. Second base. Nice knockdown. Irving Fallo, there's the defense we were talking about coming into play early in the game. Off the carpet, a pretty well hit ball.
Now we're just talking about how rosters have been structured throughout this tournament, and Edwin Rodriguez can speak enough of defense. Example number 1, why he wants Alvarado to be aggressive in the zone and have the ability to trust those guys behind him. Nice play to the left by Fallo.
And that's the first out of the ball game. Here is Gomez. Yasser Gomez, left-handed hitter, will be making the start in right field in this ball game. And the pitch will be taken up high for a ball. And look at this. That is absolutely unbelievable. 14-4. The ball game was 6-4 in the 7th inning.
Shortened game because of the bat from Team Italy again.
I mean, nobody expected that to happen, at least not to that degree of a victory. I tell you, this is a World Baseball Classic that's had some early surprises in it. Gomez with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Alvarado, and that will miss up high, trying to get him to go after one, and the count will go to 2-1.
Have something very clear here with Team Spain. they're not just happy to be at this level right now. They're the toughest competition and challenge they've had. They want to play well.
It's one of the most difficult things for a team that's as underrated as Spain is to get over. It's that just happy to be here syndrome that happens. And they've been pushed by their manager and by their coaches not to let that set in. Yeah, we qualified. We weren't supposed to. We beat Israel. We weren't supposed to. We're here. But that's not enough. That's not the W we're looking for. We're looking to move on to the second round, and we'll see whether this team can get that done or not. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Gomez. Infield, playing him to pull on the ground here, pitching him away and got him. Nice pitch on the outside corner.
Alvarado has been hitting spots, but look at the way Molina sets up. This will make it very easy on home plate umpire Dan Bellino to make a good track of this pitch. Great framing job. And after a long look, it is a strike.
He can strike people out. He's had pretty good control in the 3 years that he's pitched in Japan. Doesn't walk a lot of people. Paco Figueroa will stand in, the 30-year-old, against Alvarado. So that just under 4 ERA from this last season in Japan. He will take it for his strike. For pitchers who are starting in this World Baseball Classic, throwing strikes, keeping that pitch count down early really matters. You're only allowed to throw 65 pitches. Generally is going to cover about 4 innings. So you really want to be efficient, especially early on. Figueroa, the 0-1 pitch to him. Check swing. That one just misses on the inside corner.
And this roster for Spain, you have players from Cuba, you have players from the Dominican Republic, you got players from the U.S., and of course all of them with a tie to a Spaniard.
It's a pretty liberal interpretation as far as player rosters are concerned for some of these teams, and appropriately so. As we said, Spain does not have that great baseball history that's allowed them to develop a lot of baseball talent. So they had to go out and find players, scout players who might be interested in joining them. And they've come up with a pretty good team. I mean, this ball club, they went to Jupiter, Florida to qualify. They beat France 8-0, Israel 4-2, South Africa 13-3, and then Israel again 9-7 in the final game to reach the WBC. Just caught a piece of that fastball right there in a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Here's what we're talking about, Jose, and this team from Spain.
Venezuela, Cuba, United States, Dominican, and 1 Spaniard born in the mother country. Right-handed pitcher.
Alvarado coming up in his 14th pitch of the inning with a 2-ball, 2-strike count and 2 down. Paco Figueroa waiting on it. That's right there. He got it. There's a big start. Alvarado with some pretty good gas. Gets a couple of calls, strikeouts here in the first inning. We'll take a look at a lineup with some familiar names in it for the team from Puerto Rico when we come back. Now we welcome you back to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this home team. Pagan, Falou, Rios, Beltran, Molina, Avias, Valdez, Rivera, and Gonzalez. And they are ready to go. Perez on the mound, and the fastball is going to be on the inside corner for a strike. Sergio Perez is a 28-year-old right-hander, AAA ball. Past season went 4-2 at a 4.54 ERA. That one's off his glove. That's going to be a base hit. Angel Pagan is on with an infield single.
That's almost like a welcome Spain to the big lights, because this ball takes off. It hits a hard dirt, then part of that turf, and look how quickly it got to Perez, not anticipating that one hopper would pick up so much speed.
So that creates problems right away for the defense of Spain. Falou, the second baseman, batting second, has got good speed. Jesus Michon is playing at third base, is going to move in as they will look for a bunt here. We'll see whether or not Puerto Rico is going to play it that way early in the ball game. They do down the line. What a drag bunt. He's got a chance, and he's out. Good play. Canizares made a nice play to field that cleanly, and Figueroa with some big-time coverage coming over from second base in order to get the out.
Oh, it's easy to see the first play of the game, the inexperience by the pitcher. Now you see the experience. No panic whatsoever by the first baseman, Cañizares, charging in. He knows the turf is going to roll to him, then open up and find that daylight between that runner and your second baseman, who does a great job getting there.
That's good speed coming down the line. It's a sacrifice. It'll move Pagan down to second base with one away, and Alex Rios will stand in. RBI opportunity immediately for the number 3 hitter in this lineup. Rios is making his 3rd appearance in the World Baseball Classic. He is one of 6 players on this team to be here for the 3rd time. They'll hold the runner close at second. Figueroa is moving in, the second baseman. Perez delivers and hits it. Trying to come inside that time and just missed.
It's easy to tell that Perez is a little rattled at this point. He is a control pitcher. Now the fastball get away from him. And it seems to me like the game is going a little bit too fast for him right now.
Now, things are happening in a hurry here. And the fans don't make it any easier when they start making noise here in Puerto Rico. And here's the big man, the big bat in the lineup. Runners on at first and second base. Beltran will get the opportunity. Carlos Beltran, the veteran, he too here for the 3rd WBC. He's had big numbers in the first 2 World Baseball Classics. He's hit .350 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs for Puerto Rico.
Proven run producer in the big leagues. Drove in 97 runs for St. Louis last year.
Perez with 2 on, only 1 away. They play in the infield for him to pull. They've left that shortstop hole wide open. Yaneski Sanchez, the shortstop for Spain, is almost playing second base. He's got that, look at the hole between third and short here. But he's a pull hitter, power hitter. He's not going to put the ball on the ground the other way unless really it's an accidental hit of a pitch that's away. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Beltran up high. Did he go? Yes. Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire, didn't need any help on that. He called it himself.
Elevated that fastball a little bit late. Seems like Beltran had a tough time picking that one up.
Well, Beltran falls behind on the count of ball and 2 strikes. Hit .269, 32 homers, 97 RBIs last year. St. Louis Cardinals. Native from Puerto Rico. 1-2, runners off first and second base. He's got that one, and it's a base hit down the line over Cañizares' head. Pagan will make the turn. He'll score. Gomez will get it in. Double RBI. Puerto Rico leads it 1-0.
Well, much like it happened with the Dominican yesterday. Puerto Rico feels a heavy load off their shoulders, scoring early and capitalizing on a mistake by the pitcher. A couple of them, by the way. And a good read at second base by Pagan, freezing on that line drive, making sure that ball is not caught by Cañizares at first base.
Now 2 in scoring position, and Yadier Molina coming up as Rio stops at third. Beltran on at second. Molina, he too, 3rd time in the WBC for Puerto Rico. And he'll ground it down to third and foul.
And Yadier, when it comes down to hitting in the middle of the order nowadays, is as dangerous as anybody in the game.
What a great career he's having. And Molina with the St. Louis Cardinals had a .315 average last year, 22 homers, 76 RBIs. Doesn't get much better than that.
And brother Jose watching closely.
Only 1 down here, and the delivery is going to be taken inside. Interesting defensive alignment by Spain. They have stayed against the right-hander Molina the same way they did against Beltran, batting left-handed with the shortstop staying over at second base.
You have to take a chance on the pull side
He's shaded way too much up the middle. Shortstop Sanchez.
They've given him that whole left side of the infield, the outfield straight away. Molina waiting on it. He'll go to third. That one's going to be short. Hot by Mearsham. Throw. No play. We'll see how they rule it, but that was hit hard enough, I think, to be a base hit. It'll load him up.
And Gary, I'll say it again. There's a time when the game's happening way too fast, and to me, that's the case right now against Team Spain. And understandably so. This is the biggest stage ever they've been involved in baseball.
So they've loaded him up as Molina gets on, and now they're going to try and slow this thing down a little bit. Duarte, who is their pitching coach, is going to come out, just have a word here. Ernie Duarte calls in the entire infield, and he'll stay out there as long as he can. And that's not good.
No, it's not. Perez is actually instructing his third baseman on how to get in front of that ball.
Telling his third baseman to back up on the ball. That's the last thing Meshon, the third baseman, wanted to hear from his pitcher.
And again, we're not talking about somebody that is inexperienced. Perez has pitched in the United States and still does.
So the bases are loaded. They're going to call that an error. That's a tough error at third base. So the base is loaded, one away, a run in already. Mike Avila's the shortstop, and he will take it for a strike. Avila's major league veteran, Cleveland Indians. Last year with the Red Sox, hit .250, 13 homers, 60 RBIs. Reunited for the coming season with his former manager in Boston, Terry Francona, who's now the skipper of the Cleveland Indians. And that fastball is going to miss inside. Perez has got some pretty good zip in the ball. He's throwing a pretty good fastball.
That's what Adrian Nieto, the catcher, told me before the game. He needs to go out there and establish and trust that fastball. But even mechanically, if you watch Perez closely, that front leg is not twisting enough just to load up and have better balance coming home. Everything is in a rush right now for him.
Aviles with a 1-1 delivery, and the fastball is going to be inside. Down goes to 2-1.
Just watch your front leg and watch how everything starts moving forward way too fast. Look at that. The separation needs to be there. Arm to catch up with the release point.
Perez out of the University of Tampa. That's going to be a foul ball. The pitcher was selected in '06 by the Astros out of Tampa. He's worked internationally last 2 seasons playing in the Venezuelan Professional League, and then AAA Oklahoma City this past year, where he threw limited innings, only 75 innings. He's not a strikeout pitcher, 59 Ks and only 37 walks, so he tends to have the ball put in play against him.
I can sympathize with the youngster Perez. There's a lot at stake right now.
Bases loaded, 1 away. Puerto Rico trying to add to a 1-0 lead. Bounce. Nieto with a nice stop, and the count is full, 3-2. This pitch count's already piling up. Rios, Beltran, Molina are the base runners for Puerto Rico. 3-2. And that's what they wanted. The pop-up. Is there room? Yes, but Nieto was not able to make the play, and that is a big no play. And that should be an error.
That is mistake number 3. He had all the time in the world, plenty of room, but overran the ball. That ball is always going to be coming back to you as a catcher.
So Nieto, his inability to make the play keeps the at-bat alive for Mike Aviles.
There's a lot happening here in a very short time for these youngsters.
Very, very tough for Spain. Here's the 3-2 again, and Aviles takes advantage of this. Beltre is over there. He'll make the catch, tagging up at third base. Rios, he'll score. Beltran will move over to third. Sac fly, RBI to make it a 2-0 lead for Puerto Rico.
For every little mistake that has been made, Puerto Rico has been able to capitalize. Got the ground ball back to the pitcher. You got the hit batsman. You got the ball not caught by the catcher. And every time it's happening, including the error by the third baseman, Puerto Rico just slowly soaks it in and says, that's another window of opportunity.
They did not, at least not yet, charge an error on that non-play by Nieto. It should be, because it extended the at-bat. But right now there's no error. It's just a play that went on. Runners now at first and third with 2 down. Here is Pedro Valdez. And if Perez can get out of this inning surrendering only the 2 runs, that'll be a bit of a success story following the way this inning has gone.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Valdez, however, has got an opportunity to add to it. A couple of runs, 2 hits, and a strike taken on the fastball, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. Valdez, a native here in Puerto Rico. First appearance in the WBC. 1-1 delivery to him. Breaking ball. 2-ball 1-strike count. Perez really having to work here. Not just throwing a lot of pitches, but tough pitches and tough at bats.
Including the very first one, representing Spain here in the WBC.
Valdez will take the pitch outside, and he falls behind 3-1 with Carlos Rivera waiting on deck. 22 pitches have been thrown by Perez so far. 3-ball 1-strike count. Runners off first and third, and walked him, and the bases are loaded again. So he's hit a batter, walked a batter, had an error committed behind him, a play not made by the catcher, and given up 2 hits here in the first inning.
Gary Mauro Mazzotti could not have been clearer with us as to what he plans to do with his starter. And he used the phrase, we're going to burn them. 65 pitches. I need to take these guys as far as I can.
Yep. He's not deep in pitching. Not many of these teams are.
In fact, Mazzotti said, I don't even have the luxury of setting up a rotation after this. I can't.
And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Carlos Rivera at the plate. The chance to do some real damage here in the first inning. A 2-0 lead already for Puerto Rico. You can see the bullpen, Spain watching. They may get into this ball game deep and early. They just can't afford, though, to go through a lot of pitchers here in game 1. They're going to play 3 games, and they will play again tomorrow. So they've got to hope the guys they put out there to start work. If they don't, Mazzotti doesn't have a lot of choices. 1-ball 1-strike count. Rivera, and he'll foul that one back late on a heater.
Gary, that's the pitch that over and over again, talking to the catcher Adrian Nieto down on the field, he says, I have to convince Perez to throw the fastball. If he misses, that's fine, but he needs to establish that. And we've seen a couple of ugly swings and late swings on his fastball, but he has not been consistent enough in throwing it and locating it.
That story doesn't change anywhere in baseball, does it?
It does not.
1-2 delivery, and misses down low. 2-2. You've got to have a fastball, unless you're someone like Dickey with a knuckleball or an unusual pitch. But otherwise, if you're a pitcher, you've got to establish the fastball, and everything else works off that. Very few pitchers are able to do it any other way. Yet, so many pitchers are reluctant with the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bases are loaded. And the pitch is up high, and again, he'll take the count to 3-2. Trouble with the strike zone here. 13 balls, 15 strikes thrown so far. You don't want to be around that 500 mark in that department.
It's an appropriate timeout call there by Carlos Rivera, just to kind of get everything together, slow the game down a little bit. and he should see something very good to hit here.
Runners with 2 away. We'll be going. 3-2 delivery, and he walks in a run. And Puerto Rico's got a 3-0 lead, and the bases are still loaded. Rivera gets the RBI.
It wasn't in his zone. The anticipated fastball, not where he wanted it. Excellent at bat by the number 8 hitter, Rivera.
And Mazzotti with his pitching coach next to him, thinking. Get somebody up here.
Or as he told us, just let him go.
Yeah. Now Perez needs the out right here. You saw the coach going to the phone for the bullpen. They have battered around. Puerto Rico's number 9 hitter is Andy Gonzalez. Gonzalez be playing at third base, and he takes the pitch for a ball. Well, this is the way Puerto Rico wanted to get it started. Put the heat on early and don't let up. Gonzalez with the Chicago White Sox, played at AA Huntsville, AAA Nashville. 247, 13 homers, 57 RBIs combined last season. Check swing on a ball that's going to be down low. Perez in real trouble here as he falls behind 2-0.
There's no secret defensively that what Spain is trying to do here with Sanchez up the middle at short and Figueroa at second. They pinched the middle, Gary. That's what they want to do. Pinch the middle all the way against everybody.
They haven't moved out of that defensive alignment. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss. 3-0. Oh, the defense that's relied on. He's saying to his catcher, go out there and talk to him.
Mazzotti's not going to hide it.
Nieto may not want to go out, figuring if he told the third baseman how to play, maybe he's going to tell me how I should have caught that pop-up. This is how this inning's gone, Jose.
That should have been an out. This definitely should have been an out. Then you do this, you're going to make it a little tougher on yourself. Hit batsman, couple of walks, and not fielding your position on the very first play of the game.
Yep. Nothing has gone right for Spain here to start this ball game. So Gonzalez with a 3-0 count. Mazzotti giving his bullpen a little time to get going, and Perez giving himself a little time, thinking about trying to find that strike zone. It'll be the 33rd pitch he's thrown coming up here. And that pitch is going to be taken for a strike, and not happily so. Nieto helped the cause by holding that baseball, just freezing it. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. With the bases loaded. The delivery on the way, and that's going to bounce off inside. Now the count is 3-2. Fans making some noise. The scoreboard had the wrong count up there. They thought it was a walk, and now they put ball 4 up on the board and nobody moved. Now they've got it right at 3-2. This is a tough inning for everybody.
You don't take your regular 3-2 cut here. You think drive right here.
Bases loaded, 3-2, runners going again, and he struck him out. So he comes back to get the K, but a big inning. 3-run score, a couple of hits, an error, a couple of non-plays. Bases, though, are left loaded. From Spain's point of view, it could have been worse. Puerto Rico leads. This is day 2 for the games here in this pool. Last night, it was the Dominican Republic starting early and not letting up as they beat Venezuela 9-3. As the Dominican Republic had 9 different pitchers in the game. Cano, a big night, a bigger night for Jose Reyes. 4 for 5, 2 runs, rain delay, 50 minutes, long game. But in a vital first game, the Dominican Republic, a really good ball club, got the victory.
Well, saw a little bit of everything that the Dominicans should expose and have performed well here in this tournament, all within the first couple of innings.
Yep. Here's the veteran Canizares, and he will take the pitch for a strike.
I ran into Tony Pena, the Dominican manager, today, and he says, wow, I would have liked to have seen how far Volquez would have been, because his stuff was electric for only 11 pitches in that first inning.
Then could not come back after the rain delay in the first inning. Shattered bat, the barrel flying down to third. Ground ball off the bag, covered it back up though. So Gonzalez makes the play. Carlos Rivera over at first. Canizares is retired.
Pretty good movement there at the end on that pitch by Alvarado. You stay finding the baseball and forget about that barrel. Here it goes.
May not really be that close, but boy, when you're out there and you see it in your peripheral vision, it sure looks like it's right on top of you.
I think third baseman coach Jose Alguacil remembers what happened in 2001 to Tommy Lasorda at an All-Star game.
Pitch will be taken outside. Tommy had one of those come down to third when he was coaching and ended up putting him on his back.
That's right. A little tumbling action.
Yep.
And a broken bat by Vladimir Guerrero.
0-1 the count here. Rafael Alvarez is the designated hitter. Alvarez will take the pitch and is quickly behind 0-2.
Veteran player was telling me before the game how excited he is to be here. Venezuelan with ties through his grandparents from Spain.
And that pitch just misses. Alvarez leaning out over the plate to watch it.
Alvarado has been doing this pretty much all game so far. Just close enough to those corners.
Pitching well. That one's going to be popped up. A lot of room. Foul territory here. And a sliding catch made. Andy Gonzalez going back. Avila's probably had a better angle on that ball, the shortstop, but Gonzalez got a real good jump, makes a nice play.
Oh, manager Edwin Rodriguez was right on the money about his ball club. Gloves already. Gonzalez at third, Falou at second. Showing how it's done.
In foul territory and caught over the shoulder. Nice play. Here's the shortstop, Yuniesky Sanchez, 2 down. Here in the second inning, and a chance for Alvarado to have another 1-2-3 inning. He got it done on 14 pitches in the first inning, throwing strikes, and he's so far doing it again here.
Yuniesky Sanchez will always be seen as a hero for Spain. He got the game winner in the qualifier over Israel back in September to propel them to this part of the tournament.
0-1 delivery. Fastball will miss away. He has played in the U.S. Sanchez has some independent ball. He spent 4 seasons in the Diamondbacks organization. Then last year he played in Indiana and in the Atlantic League. He played in the American Association and then the Independent League. So he's bounced around. Another veteran player, minor league player. Originally played in Pittsburgh, their organization. 2 ball, 1 strike count. 2 down, nobody on, a chopper to short. Aviles will back up and gets it. So again, Alvarado getting it done. He retires the side into what was some good defense behind him. And it continues. Puerto Rico on top 3-0. Take a look at the umpires working this game. Dan Bellino has the plate. Jesus Miller at first. Eric Cooper at second. And Yah Fernandez at third base. Cooper out there. Cooper running the clock at second.
He told you, Gary, go.
That's right. When he points,
it's
you go to work.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Start talking.
Top of the order again. Anel Pagan. He led off the first inning with a single and scored as they put up 3 runs on a couple of hits in the first. Dan Bellino, home plate umpire, by the way, made his debut at the major league level in 2008. He's been a professional umpire since 2003. and became a regular in the major league level 2011. He's got the plate for this one. 2-0 count. And that one is going to miss inside. Pagan and the rest of this lineup from Puerto Rico is going to take, having watched Perez in that first inning struggle with his control. No reason to help him out. 3-0 delivery way outside. And Pagan is on again. That's yet another walk. 3 of them in the ball game by Perez.
I would have the reliever up right now. There's no reason for me to have to see this continue here. Even though you have 65 pitches to work with, and he's at 39 right now. He's not being effective at all.
No, not helping the cause, not giving his ball club a chance to be in the game at the moment. Falou, a sacrifice his first time up. Ashan, the third baseman, again is going to play in. Falou's got great speed. See the numbers that he put up. See whether or not he plays bunt here with his club up by a score of 3-0. That pitch is going to miss down low for a ball. That's 5 in a row out of the strike zone.
And Perez, interesting guy, because he was picked in the draft ahead of Justin Masterson of the Indians. He was picked ahead of John Jay of the Cardinals. In fact, Perez coming out of the University of Tampa was so highly thought of, Gary, that he was picked right behind Trevor Cahill, also in the draft.
A struggle here. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way, and you can see they're just taking pitches. That is a called strike on the inside corner. Falou with the Kansas City organization, 10 years, in fact, in their system, played over 1,000 games. Didn't get many chances at the major league level. He hit .341 when he did play in the majors, and 85 at bats. But most of his at bats came in the minors. And the count goes to 2-1.
Another one of those guys that really complements your roster when you have big leaguers that can't play or don't want to play, but he is fresh off winter ball.
Runner goes, and no throw. Big jump over there. Perez really wasn't taking much of a look, and Pagan will get the stolen base.
Oh, Pagan's good at this. He picks the right spots. He stole 29 bases last year for the world champs. Head down, drives down with that shoulder, and there goes Caballo Loco.
Easily in. Nieto up, no chance to throw. So now another runner in scoring position. Puerto Rico went 3 out of 5 in the first inning with runners in scoring position. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Falou waiting on it. Ground ball towards the middle. It'll be backhanded. Figueroa makes the play. It'll move the runner up. Pagan goes to third, 1 down.
Well, that's a big out for both the pitcher Perez, also bigger for Team Puerto Rico as they continue to play good fundamental baseball.
And Rios will get the RBI opportunity. Numbers with the Chicago White Sox. Major League .304 average, 605 at bats. Infield's going to move in. They'll try and cut this run down on the ground ball. Perez out of the full windup and will miss inside, falling behind most of the hitters he's facing. He hit Rios his first time up with a pitch on that front arm, and Rios would come around to score. 1 down, runner at third base. Check swing, he couldn't hold up on it. 1-1.
You watch the infield because, of course, this field turf is going to play a little faster. They don't have to be all the way in, but with Perez working from the windup, got to have the contact play on because Pagan has to take a huge lead. And so what if he's double up in a line drive?
Bounced. Nieto got that one.
So you're going to base your lead based on what you see from the pitcher. Nieto does a good job centering this one.
Two ball, one strike count. Infield creeps in a little more. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. Rios is hit again. And now he looks out like, you know.
Oh, that's twice.
Sorry, he says. You saw the pitch of Perez say sorry. That's twice Rios has been hit by a pitch.
Well, I'll tell you one thing hitters don't like is you pointing with your glove saying, take your base. Of course, he's not trying to hit him on purpose. It's this whole part of the jitters that we've seen this from the very first play of the game, and it hasn't stopped.
Now first and third with one away. Beltran a double and an RBI his first time up. Well, the switch hitter is going to get to add to the lead for Puerto Rico. And Rios at first with a pretty good lead. There he goes. This is the answer to getting hit. Stolen base.
That's when the player takes the ball by the horns and says, here, you want to put your glove at me at first base? I'm going to continue to pile it on here.
And Perez really hasn't taken very much of a look over there, make any throw over. Rios had his front foot out on the carpet, which would indicate he's probably going to go. Again, the infield is drawn in against Beltran. That one is bounced. Another good stop by Nieto, and the count goes to 2-0.
You know you're off your game and your mind is not on right track when you have first and third with one out, and you almost start pitching from the windup. He almost did it.
He did do that before.
Yes, he did.
With the runner at third. Before Rios got on. 2-0 delivery. That one bounces away. So clearly what the decision has been by Mario Mazzotti, the manager of Spain, is he's going to burn his starter Perez here because Perez only got about 5 pitches left to go. You see they're signaling over there to Nieto. Now they're going to walk him and load the bases. See whether or not he makes a pitching change after this. There is ball 4. The 4th walk surrendered. Here are the rules that matter managing that pitching staff.
Cannot throw more than 65 pitches per game in that first round of the tournament. And you can exceed 65 pitches to finish an at-bat. That's only an at-bat. Then you must wait 4 days if you threw 50 plus, 1 day if you last threw 30 plus. And certainly those challenges have come early. First of all, for Tony Pena yesterday, and for Luis Sojo, Dominican against Venezuela. But there's a different scenario now for Mazzotti. This has been pretty much just not being effective at all.
Yep. Duarte again, the pitching coach, will come out and have a word. They've had the bullpen up a couple of times, but they really want to stay with him and not burn another pitcher and try and get through the 65 pitches that are allowed before they bring somebody else in. Tough decision, and the Perez a tough problem for him because he's struggling so much with control. So for the 3rd time in the first 2 innings, Puerto Rico has loaded the bases. Here is Yadier Molina. Reached on an error his first time up. Molina will take the pitch for his strike. Got it at the knees on the outside corner. Molina with a chance to put up some big numbers here in this at bat. Infield set for 2. That's going to be 1. And nowhere else to go. Paco Figueroa off the line drive. 2 down.
Well, that ball got there in a hurry to the point where Figueroa got handcuffed here. Watch him turn his glove. That is a beautiful swing, staying inside the ball by Yadier.
So again, a chance for Perez to get out of this inning. He gave up the 3 in the first, and he could get out of this without giving up anything. Avila's at the plate, 2 down. And outside for a ball. Avila's had the RBI and a sac fly for the shortstop his first time up. Avila's a New York native. That's where he was born, grew up. Obviously with connections to Puerto Rico with his family. In the air, center field. Beltre is there and puts it away, and Avila says retired. And Perez, baseball gods are making it tough on him, giving him a chance to live on. Puerto Rico leads it 3-0.
Little timeline on Spain, how the baseball get there, of course, brought by Cuban immigrants in the late 1800s. They had success against Puerto Rico in the Olympics in 1992. A great qualifier for them, too, outscoring their opponents 32-14. And one Spaniard in that roster, Eric Gonzalez, born in Santa Cruz, España.
Boy, for Cuba's just spread baseball everywhere. If you go back and look, even the other Caribbean countries, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Mexico, it was all of the wars being fought in the 1890s and the early 1900s. The 10-year war, Spanish-American War. That's when a lot of immigrants left Cuba, and they took baseball with them to a lot of countries. Running throw made. Jesus Lasham is retired as Aviles makes the play. Alex Rios has been hit twice by a pitch, and at the end of the last inning, Rios and the pitcher, Perez, had words, but obviously under control.
Under control, but the intensity is there. You can see that. This is between the line competition. Rios made it known 3 times.
Yep.
When he's going to first, by stealing second base, and then also getting off the field.
Here's the catcher, Adrian Nieto. Nieto, switch hitter. 7 in a row have been retired by Alvarado. He's getting it done here effectively. Still under 30 on the pitch count for the big right-hander. And that pitch is going to miss outside for a ball. And the count will go to 2-0 on Nieto. A 35-year-old veteran. 3 years in Japan, the last 3. 2-0 delivery. He's throwing strikes. 2-1.
And one thing Alvarado can do is he can spread the zone. He's got natural movement, late release, short arm. You see that one cut. Talking to some of the coaches and why he's a good matchup, exactly for what we've seen here today. He can paint. He can make hitters chase, especially in inexperienced ball club.
Nieto on the 31st pitch goes to second base. Lou is up with it, makes the play over to Rivera, and there are 2 down.
Now, Gary, you were talking about the history of baseball in Spain. I mean, go back to 1901 when the first documented baseball game took place in Spain. And by the 1920s, they already had a national baseball team.
They've had trouble, we were told this morning by their manager, because of the economic times there and keeping their league baseball going. He said, look, we have bus trips that take some 8 hours, and we just don't have the money for a lot of these teams to be able to do that anymore. So right now, a bit of a struggle in Spain, and that one hits him. And a warning is going to go out. Dan Bellino issues the warning to both benches. This is based on what we were just looking at with Rios being hit twice. Alvarado comes back and hits Gabriel Suarez, the left fielder. So now both teams are under a warning. And if there's any more of that, the pitcher and manager will both be thrown out of the ball game.
I have no issues with this whatsoever. Hitters want to be protected. You on the mound, send a message. Nothing above the shoulders. You're done. Move on. But you get a lot of respect from teammates, especially hitters, when you do things like this. Look what happened recently in an exhibition game with Doc Holliday on the mound a couple of days ago.
Here's Beltre, and that will be taken up high for a ball.
Here's the Nationals. Strasburg hit Chase Utley in the ankle. And then Holiday set one slipped. Okay.
Threw behind the batter. Holiday did in an exhibition game. 1-0 count. Somewhere Bob Gibson is smiling. That is a foul ball by Beltre.
You know, and through the years, I've spoken with a lot of hitters about this, Gary, and guys that know they're going to get hit. But the issue is go below the waist. Move on.
We just have seen that disappear from the game, though. The idea of backing guys off the plate is almost gone. You throw inside now, and hitters give the pitchers evil eyes, which that's just not. You got to do that if you're a pitcher. You've got to own part of the plate if you're going to get any outs. But more and more, what we've seen are, look, it's players and owners. Players protect one another. It's all about the money. So they don't want anybody to get hurt, so they don't pitch inside. And that may be changing. Maybe this is going to be a year where we're going to see some more of that inside work done by pitchers to make the hitters more uncomfortable. Good pitch as he a little extra on the follow through that time. Got it down and in on him, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down.
Great release, great spin again, natural movement, swinging right above that baseball is Angel Beltre.
Beltre grounded out his first time up. First base runner on for Spain, the hit batter. 2-2, runner goes. Here's the throw. Molina off the mark, stolen base. It was a strikeout, so doesn't matter. So Beltre's retired. Third strikeout for Alvarado in the ball game, and Puerto Rico continues on top 3-0. Fans, want to remind you can go to worldbaseballclassic.com, bookmark it, your one-stop source for news, video highlights, online shopping for authentic jerseys, caps, collectibles, and more. You can shop 24/7 and gear up, supporting your team by wearing the official colors of your country. That's worldbaseballclassic.com, accessible on your computer, tablet, or smartphone.
So at the end of the inning, what do we see? First of all, Alvarado in the exchange with Rios. It's a little wink. I'll take care of you. People respect that. And then right after that, you saw the manager, Rosati, go and talk to home plate umpire Dan Bellino. But his question was more, was there a warning? Yes, there was a warning, which means you guy hit somebody and both you and the pitcher are gone.
And this is going to be, unless it's a very successful inning, the final inning for Perez, the starter for Spain, as he's worked his way up in the pitch count. 58.
To his credit, this could have been way out of hand right now.
Yeah. Valdez drew a walk his first time up. He'll take it for a strike, and the count will go to 2-1.
And somehow Sergio Perez has found a way to keep it at 3 runs.
I mean, the Puerto Rico's left the bases loaded here both innings. So they've left some people out there and only have a 3-0 lead going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. But again, Perez just cannot find the strike zone. And the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike, bottom 3rd of the order up there against him. Valdez waiting on a 3-1. And that's going to be fouled off.
Notice too, Gary, that now they have Sergio Perez on the mound working exclusively from the stretch. He's thrown from the windup with a man at 3rd and almost went from the windup with a man at 1st and 3rd.
3-2 delivery on the way, and that ball in the air to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Beltre over to get it. Valdez is on with a single to lead off the 3rd inning. And again, Puerto Rico's had the leadoff man on in all 3 innings of the ball game. That'll be hit number 3.
Going back to the comment regarding a lot of pitchers just working from the stretch exclusively, that's usually recommended by the pitching coach because he sees a more compact delivery, less thinking, sacrificing velocity, and maybe more pitch efficiency. Obviously, it didn't work in that case against Valdez, but that's why you see a lot of pitchers nowadays sometimes just go from the stretch, including, you know, starters in the big leagues that, like a Yu Darvish, for example, will do that throughout a game with nobody on.
That gives you control. That's the name of the game. And that may be it right here. They drew a little time for the bullpen. He hasn't reached the maximum, but that's not going to matter. Zotti's on his way out, the skipper, and he will make the pitching change right here, trying to give his club a chance to stay in this ball game, because despite all the problems Perez has had, as Jose said, they still have got an opportunity to come back in this game. Salazar's going to come out of the bullpen as they will bring the left-hander on here in the third inning. Runner on, nobody out. Another minor league veteran, 31-year-old Richard Salazar, will come on to do the pitching as the left-hander at Sioux City this past year. There are the numbers he put up there. Originally drafted out of Miami-Dade College by the Orioles back in 2001. He has been around 7 years minor league ball with the Orioles, 5 years in the American Association, 12 winters playing for the Venezuelan Professional League. Runner at first base, nobody out, and the pitch will be taken inside. Carlos Rivera drew a walk, his first time up. Minor league numbers with the 365 at bats. And the fastball will catch the inside corner. A little lefty-lefty matchup here in this call to the bullpen.
Salazar well liked by his teammates, especially by his staff, because he's got the mindset of getting after it. He could be a guy that keeps them in the game right now, which is what they need at this point.
Down to first base. What a stop made. Canizares gets one. Relay to first. Tag put on. They got him. How about that? Salazar, the pitcher, getting over to cover, drawn off the bag on the throw, reached back and made the tag, and they're able to turn two.
He can keep you in the game. He's a veteran. He's been around now. After the first inning and the jitters defensively, I expect this team to get better. And that's already the second fine play made at first base by the veteran Canizares. Look at the reaction here in the pitcher, not forgetting about one thing, his responsibility in applying that tag.
That's a tough play by Canizares. 2 down. So for the first 3 innings, at least in this ball game, Puerto Rico should be up 30-0. Spain refuses to go away. It's still a 3-0 ball game with only 3 hits on the board, despite all that's happened here.
You gotta like it. You have to like this game. I mean, there's been hit batsmen, missed pop-ups, walks, errors. There's only 3 hits and 3 runs.
And the fastball will miss up high. Number 9 hitter Andy Gonzalez, a strikeout victim, is first time up.
Okay, you know what else? If you're Team Spain and you're Mauro Mazzotti, you're going, guys, as bad as we have played, look at the scoreboard.
That's what you say.
Huh?
Mentally, that's what you do to keep your team in the game and get them to start believing, as big an underdog as they are, that they're only down 3-0 in the third inning to a team that is supposed to be routing them, and see whether or not that can work and you get things going offensively. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Gonzalez. That'll go to short. That's right where they played him. Ineski Sanchez makes the play. That'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on. 3 complete. Game 1 for each of these teams. So we are back, and let's see whether or not the offense of Spain can get going. Puerto Rico 3-3-0 through 3. Spain zip, and 1 hit batter. Their only base runner so far against Alvarado on the mound, who's done an outstanding job with the 1 hit batter, 3 strikeouts, no walks. 2-3-4 in the lineup. Here's Gomez, strikeout victim, his first time up, and he will take that for a pitch. Yasser Gomez. Shift put on in the infield against him, and the pitch is taken away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yasser Gomez very open in telling me that he will defend Spain's colors like he was born there. He says, Spain gave me freedom and liberty. And think about this, his father, he found out how he would qualify for this team and its roster because his father is a Spaniard citizen. And in fact, Gomez, a good player back in Cuba. He was a Rookie of the Year in the Cuban National Series back in 1997.
Alvarado, his 41st pitch coming, and that'll be chopped at, goes to third. Play made over there by Gonzalez. Gomez is retired. One away here in the 4th inning.
Also found out through their manager Mauro Mazzotti that 4 players qualify for this ball club because they're married to Spaniards. That'll get you in.
Mazzotti was funny this morning talking with us at our meeting with him about how he came to the United States a couple of times trying to find players. I mean, they had to do a lot of scouting. They had a lot of people looking to see what the heritage was of a number of players.
They turn a lot of documents over and over.
That's going to be fouled off. Trying to bunt his way on. Paco Figueroa. Mazzotti was able to get it done. And Canizares, one of those that obviously has made a big difference on this team.
And Canizares' mom is also a citizen of Spain, and she has been a citizen of Spain since 2001, even though they're from Cuba, born in Cuba. So he found a way. I mean, you talk about Team Israel, go find the roster.
Yeah.
Go find Team Italy.
It's what these teams have had to do, and it's working. If you missed it today, Italy with that big victory. Just amazing against Canada, 14-4. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Figueroa will take the pitch, and he's gone. And strikeout number 4, Alvarado.
And the big picture, look at Alvarado and what he's been able to do. I mean, it's been one corner to the next, and this last pitch, because of the backward movement, almost fooled the catcher himself and Yadier Molina. Well, he has not thrown anything over the middle of the plate.
Alvarado had 13 minor league seasons with 6 clubs affiliated in the majors, and then of course, as we said, has pitched in Japan for the last 3 seasons in the Japanese Central League. But he's put on a show in this one, come out and throw strikes, and that's exactly what he's done. Canizares at the plate, grounded out his first time up. He'll take the pitch for a called strike up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. While Spain does not have a hit here, they've shown the ability to hit in their exhibition games. Wednesday they lost to the Orioles, but they had 14 hits and a 19-7 loss. They stranded 13 runners in the game before that against the Pirates. They lost the game 10-0, but they were able to get people on base. So in those 2 exhibition games, at least, they showed they can put some offense down. They've not been able to do it here yet.
Yeah, they said pretty much they're excited about the quality ABs against guys like Jake Arrieta, Zach Britton, Darren O'Day, Luis Ayala, and a guy you know very well too, Jim Johnson.
Foul back, the Oriole closer.
Boy, how dominant was Jim Johnson last year.
Made a tremendous difference in the Orioles' run, and they'll look for him to do that again this year. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Canizares with nobody on and 2 away. Gentle breeze blowing out towards center for our ball game here tonight. That's where he puts the ball, base hit. Falou dove for it, and there is the first hit for Spain in WBC play. This is the first time they've been in the WBC. Canizares gets it.
Hey, save that ball.
Something to build on.
Beautiful job. This one just ran right back over the plate as Yadier was set up way off the plate.
Rafael Alvarez popped out his first time up. Canizares with a bit of history for his team. There are, however, 2 down. Alvarez is the designated hitter. DH used throughout the World Baseball Classic. Trying to protect those pitchers in large part.
Alvarez is a strong veteran. I mean, he is looking for one mistake and one swing of the bat, and they're right back in this thing.
And there goes the bat.
Not like that, though.
No.
I didn't mean that swing of the bat.
That hurt. He put that one off his foot.
Got it right on the inside with the impact of stunning hit on his right foot. The bat went flying.
Alvarez is going to need a moment to try and walk this one off. I want to remind you the upcoming schedule now here in Puerto Rico. Going to be a doubleheader tomorrow. All 4 teams involved here in this pool will play. Noontime game will have the Dominican Republic going against Spain, and then Puerto Rico will take on Venezuela. In local time, it'll be 6:30, 7:30 Eastern time for the ball game tomorrow night. So a doubleheader here in San Juan tomorrow, as Venezuela will try and get their first win against Puerto Rico, and the Dominican will try and go 2-0 with their game against Spain. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and a strike on the outside corner to Rafael Alvarez.
And for all the stories behind the scenes, this guy's name right here, first base coach, is Felix Cano, the best all-around Spanish baseball player. He represented Team Spain internationally from 1983 through 2007. Felix Cano. So now if you're wondering where the last name Cano came from for those Dominican Canos, there you have it. The motherland, España.
All coming together now. Just weaving a story.
Just want to bring you in.
There you go. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Alvarez will foul that one back.
Just make sure you don't tell the Dominicans that Robinson can qualify to play.
Spain.
Yeah, qualify for this team.
Yeah. Well, they all can qualify to play for Cuba, since that's where everything came from in baseball.
And originally from Spain to Cuba and the Caribbean and back to Spain.
Exactly. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Canizares on at first base. They're not going to hold him here with the left-hander up. And that's going to be fouled off again by Alvarez, and holds that count at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It reminds me of what Luis Sojo, the Venezuela manager, was telling us about Miguel Montero, his catcher. He said Montero spent 2 months calling me and saying, please don't allow them to make me play out for Spain, because he qualified to play for Spain too.
Yeah.
So Montero said, please, Luis, it's Venezuela.
That kind of politicking goes on for the World Baseball Classic to get players. Boy, close but not quite. Alvarado trying to finish it up here. Here in the 4th inning. This will probably be his last inning. And he's just missed a couple of pitches. Good eye by Rafael Alvarez, an 18-year minor league veteran. Twins and Pirates organizations. He's worked at the 2-2. The delivery on the way. Runner goes. Ball 4. Throw down. What is that? What is that? Canizares running, and there is absolutely no reason for him to be going. That is a caught stealing to end the inning.
It's confusion all the way around. You don't run on Yadier Molina by a mile.
It wasn't even close. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. 3-0 Puerto Rico. Part of the big house on hand here in Puerto Rico, as Pagan will lead it off again. The leadoff batter for Puerto Rico has reached twice, a single in the 1st inning and scored, drew a walk and was stranded in the 2nd. Angel Pagan against the left-hander Salazar, who came on through 7 pitches to complete that last inning, coming out of the bullpen. Couple of notes with the World Baseball Classic in full swing. Yeah, the Chinese Taipei game against Korea, the largest crowd ever to see a game in Taiwan. 23,431 attended that game, so a mark set on that one. And in Fukuoka, Japan, the site of the Pool A play, they had 2,297 accredited media on hand for the first round of competition. Some idea about fans and coverage of the World Baseball Classic. Put up in the air, but off the end of the bat by Pagan. Way up in the air. That'll be hauled in for the out. Suarez there to get it. And the unexpected play of some teams continues to make news as Italy came away with an enormous 14-4 win in that game against Canada, a game where Canada trailed by only 2 in the 7th inning, and then Italy just tore it open, and as a result, with a 10-run differential, that ends the ball game. If you have a 10-run lead or more after 7 innings, game over.
That is Nick Punto, Anthony Rizzo, Alex Lady Ball Club doing quite well. Jason Grilly anchoring that bullpen, so they play some good baseball.
And again, Italy had to go out and scout players. We were talking about Spain having to do that. Same thing done by Italy. You've got a lot of players who are American citizens playing for major league teams and minor league ball clubs qualified to play for Italy. And they've put the uniform on and they're getting it done. Follow at the plate. He is grounded out and sacrificed. Down the line. It'll roll into foul territory. He's on his way to second base. Gomez getting it back in. Here's the throw to third on the money. And he is out on a great relay throw. Paco Figueroa went out deep to get it. And Gomez put it right in the glove, and then they got it to third.
This is the basic of just playing catch, hitting your cutoff man, and being in good line to make this throw here. Outstanding defensive execution by Spain. And we are seeing a different ball club after the jittery first inning. It is fun to watch. It's a beautiful piece of hitting by Falou, who was thinking 3 all the way. Quite to a surprise, they were waiting for him.
Great execution. Mershan putting the tag on, and there are 2 down. And here is Rios. He's been hit by a pitch twice. Nobody happier to see the left-hander on the mound, and Perez gone. Then is Rios, who got hit on the side a couple of times and resulted in the warning being issued by the home plate umpire after he was hit for the second time. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Launches that one to left field, but it's off the end of the bat. Gabriel Suarez is there, and he's got it. And that'll retire the side. No runs ahead, no errors, nobody left on base. Only 3 come to the plate. Head first slide, tag put on. See you later. 3-0 Puerto Rico. Great to have you with us here at R&B Thorne Stadium in Puerto Rico. San Juan, the site of game number 2 in this pool play on day number 2. 3-0 Puerto Rico leading it, but Spain's hanging around, and we go to the top half of this 5th inning. Rafael Alvarez, and on the mound Aaron Burgos has come on to do the pitching. Ground ball to first base played by Rivera. Will go to the bag. Alvarez retired. He's 0 for 2.
Well, part of what manager Edwin Rodriguez wanted to do was to pretty much follow a pitching plan where he had 2 starters, and he has 2 starters set up for each game. So he wanted Alvarado to go out there and give him the max, to be followed by a very fine pitcher on the mound right now in Aaron Burgos. Had a chance to watch Burgos pitch against the Angels in exhibition play last week, and he is terrific. Great command, great feel for the breaking ball, and he can use a fastball up in the zone too.
25-year-old right-hander. Great job done by Alvarado, who worked 4 innings, gave up no runs on a hit, walked none, struck out 4, and hit a batter. So real good start. He threw 57 pitches, 37 of them for strikes in his start. 1 down. Sanchez up, grounded out his first time up. And the fastball just a little bit low and away, and a 1-ball 1-strike count on Yuneski Sanchez.
Just keep in mind, Burgos again throwing from the stretch. Young pitcher looking down those signs to one of his idols, Yadier Molina. Gary, what a sight, huh?
Pretty good battery. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be chopped foul twice. Once off Molina as well. And the count goes to 1-2 on Sanchez.
And just in this tournament, it doesn't matter how long it goes or how short it goes for Puerto Rico, just having young players surrounded by these veterans is a tremendous advantage.
Great learning process for the individuals players, obviously, as well, for someone like Burgos to have a chance to work with Molina. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. That'll be to center field. That's going to be a base hit. So Sanchez is on with a single. That'll be hit number 2 for Espana in this ball game. And again, trying to build on it here and get a run across.
Yeah, he's a well accomplished player internationally. Again, he had the game winner against Israel in the qualifier in September. His manager really admires his leadership. Hit .368 in that qualifier back in Jupiter, Florida.
Well, Marchand comes up. And what Spain needs right now is a run. Just for mental purposes as well as on the board.
Agree with you 100%.
So they're hanging in the game. They're right there. They can just put a couple of hits together back to back. That ball's going to break a bat and go to first base. Rivera in foul territory will put it away. Marchand retired. He's 0 for 2, and there are 2 down. I want to remind you, coverage of the World Baseball Classic continues later tonight. Chase Field in Arizona. Mexico will look to bounce back from last night's loss to Italy against the United States. On the mound, it'll be Gallardo against the knuckleballer R.A. Dickey beginning at 10 Eastern, 3 GMT time. We'll be back here, San Juan, full day of action. Dominican takes on Spain, 11 Eastern, 16 GMT. Puerto Rico, Venezuela, 5:30 Eastern, 22:30 GMT. All coming up here, our coverage of the WBC.
Already a couple of surprises and teams flipping their pitchers. And Team Puerto Rico has decided to go with Figueroa for game 2 instead of pitching Figueroa against the Dominican. And all due to the fact that Venezuela was beaten last night, according to their manager, Edwin Rodriguez. So that's how it goes.
And that one swung on a miss, probably up high, went after Nieto. Adrian Nieto, the catcher, who's grounded out. Burgos with the off-speed delivery. Count goes to 0-2. Italy on the verge of moving on to the next round. They are 2-0 in their pool. 0-2 delivery taken down low. Good stop made. Molina keeps that ball to the side. Sanchez.
Oh, he's outstanding every part of his game. Look how low he gets, especially with a right knee going straight down, centering the ball and then making sure that upper body is bent down, not straight up, so the ball doesn't bounce up and behind him.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Ground ball will go to second base this time. Liz got it, makes the play. Nieto is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. It remains 3-0 Puerto Rico. Well, you take a look at catcher's land here and some names you'll recognize. Jorge Posada. Some pretty good artwork that's gone on there, don't you think? Alomar's out there, Sandy Alomar. Benito Santiago, I can throw you up from my knees. Pretty good catchers.
Oh, yes.
Nadia Molina, who we've talked about in this ball game. It's the flying Walindas and the catching Molinas. Families of renown.
Special family, man. Benji, Jose, and Yadier. All 3 of them. There's Jose Molina. All 3 have world championship rings.
Amazing.
A couple of them have multiple championships.
Yadier Molina waiting on deck there. Here is Beltran, who had a double and an RBI in the first inning. Intentionally walked his last time up. 3-4-0 for Puerto Rico. 0-2-1 for Spain. Beltran an RBI. Aviles an RBI. Rivera an RBI. All coming in the first inning. That one to right center field in the gap. Look out. Plenty of time to get over there. And put away by Anel Beltre to retire Beltran. And 1 away.
No, Angel is the type of guy you want patrolling center field. Quickly takes charge. He's got won a Gold Glove in minor league baseball last season for plays like this. Tremendous range, not afraid to take control out there in the outfield. And again, he has speed. That helps a little bit.
A lot of room here. It's a pretty big ballpark. 404 to dead center field, so the outfielders have some room to cover, ground to cover, and room to get the balls. Here is Molina at the plate. Molina has reached on an error. He's also lined out. 363 average in the previous 2 World Baseball Classics that he's played in. He will foul that one off. Richard Salazar for Spain on the mound in relief.
Lefty has done a fine job, Gary. Came in and got a 3-6-1 double play immediately. And he's been aggressive. You know, this is exactly what Mauro Mazzotti told us about Salazar. A go-getter, bulldog type mentality.
And that's what he wanted to see out of this team. He asked of Spain as the manager, be aggressive. We have nothing to lose. He was telling us this morning. I just told the guys, look, we are the team that's the underdogs. Let's go right from the get-go. Let's go at them. Whatever happens, happens, but play the game without being afraid of it. Ground ball towards short. Going to be a long throw here. Sanchez up and he got it. 2 down.
Well, Sanchez likes to crowd that middle, but you know what? He's been positioned right a couple of times. On this one, though, instead of coming in for that ball, if he was positioned more straight up, he had to come around that baseball. And luckily for him, it was Molina running and not a faster runner. But you know what? It worked. It's an out.
And 2 down, nobody on. Here's Aviles. Mike Aviles, sacrifice RBI, and he is flied out. All 3 runs, Puerto Rico coming in the first inning. They left the bases loaded in both the first and second. Since then, they've sent only 3 to the plate in the third and fourth innings, even though they had hits there. One got thrown out on a double play, and then Falou got thrown out trying to extend a double to a triple, and now there are 2 down here in the 5th. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Back underneath us, and the count will go to 1-2.
I tip my hat on the way Mauro Mazzotti, the Spaniard manager, has been able to pretty much send the message of letting these guys play. And he said it quickly. Don't play against the names on their backs. Go out there and compete. And they are competing.
They're doing that. And the fastball is just going to miss.
Mazzotti himself, an experienced staff member here in the World Baseball Classic, and one thing he's very proud of right now, Team Italy.
Yep.
He was a first base coach there.
5 different Italian professional league teams over 24 seasons for him. Pitch is going to be outside, a little off speed delivery that bounces away. And the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. He was named manager of the Spanish team in 2009. You got to do those things early for these managers because you got to go out and find players, so you got to let them know who's going to be heading up the team. He's done a heck of a job with it. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down, bases empty. Avila's waiting on it, and that's going to miss, and the walk surrendered. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the World Baseball Classic Inc. may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any exuberance you wish to tie in along with the fans here in Puerto Rico, however, you may do with no one's consent.
Gary, this is your 3rd stop here in WBC Puerto Rico. Does this not keep getting better?
I love
each
it.
time?
I've asked to come back each time because I just think it's such a great venue.
It is outstanding.
Runner goes down low, throw, sidearm, nice play. Sanchez going over to prevent that Nieto throw from going into center field. Aviles gets a stolen base.
Well, Nieto doing a little bit of a Benito Santiago on that one, not throwing from his knees, but a sidearm delivery. He had a lot on the throw. I mean, it got there quickly, but just in the wrong direction. Look at this release here. As you do that as a catcher, that throw will do exactly that. Sail.
Tells you that Puerto Rico believes they got to get some runs here and add to the 3-0 lead. Aviles running here in the 5th inning, trying to create the opportunity now. Pedro Valdez has singled and drawn a walk. See if he can get the RBI. That's going to be fouled off.
Tony Pena managing for the Dominican. Edwin Rodriguez managing for Puerto Rico. Could not say it enough to us. There's no small enemy in this tournament.
Beware. Opportunity again. Puerto Rico's gone 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Most of that coming in the first 2 innings of the ball game. Again, they've got that big shift on, putting the shortstop Sanchez right behind the base runner Avila's at second base. Look where he's standing. They've left that hole open on the left side of the infield the entire game. So far, it doesn't burn them. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and an off-speed pitch will miss 1-2. It's a good ball game. And while you've got Spain on one side starting to go, you got Puerto Rico on the other going,
Exactly.
wait a minute.
Little down, little hope.
And got him on the outside corner. Nice pitch by Salazar. Gets his second strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. Base runner left on as he caught that corner. Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire, racking him up. 3-0 Puerto Rico. Well, you take a look at what's going to be going on Super Saturday. Our coverage will begin at 5 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 GMT time. Tokyo, we got Chinese Taipei taking on Cuba. They are both 0-1, by the way. Dominican Republic won their first game. They take on Spain tomorrow. We got the doubleheader here with Puerto Rico taking on Venezuela as well. Big games. Italy's already won 2 games as they picked up the victory again today over Canada by a score of 14-4. So they're on the road. And the U.S. gets underway tonight, 9 Eastern, 2 o'clock GMT time. They're playing in Phoenix, Mexico. Gallardo will be going against Dickey, the scheduled starters in that game.
Mexico stunned by Team Italy, and Sergio Romo not getting the job done.
There's a base hit by Suarez. Suarez picks up the single, and for the first time in the game, Spain has the leadoff man on base in an inning.
Well, we're seeing more relaxed swings, and look at this. Just picture perfect, waiting on the ball, hit a little bit deeper to use the other part of the field. And Gabriel Suarez, USA born, is aboard.
There goes the pitcher on the mound has come out of the bullpen, and we're going to get a pinch runner for Spain as Daniel Figueroa has come on to run for Suarez at first base.
Interesting move this early in a game, down by 3 runs.
That's the left field as Suarez going out of there. Figueroa coming on. Obviously putting a little speed on the base paths here in the inning.
Tell you what, when he was at first base, Suarez was looking in as in saying, really? And then he got to the dugout, and there's a small exchange as in, what is happening here, along with his manager.
Well, let's see how this works. If speed's what they wanted. Top of the order. Beltre, quick throw over. Burgos on the big, quick spin move to first base. Now you got to wonder whether they really want to run here. You don't want to run yourself out of an inning.
If you bring him in here this early, you have to run.
Figueroa not going, swing and a miss, and a 1-ball 1-strike count on Beltre.
Down by 3 runs, you're not thinking so much about being overly aggressive. Remember, the guy behind the plate is one of the best in the big leagues throwing base runners out.
We've already seen one base running mistake. Canizaro in the 4th inning was on first base, 2 down. He got thrown out. That one's going to go to left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. There's the first set of hits back-to-back in the ball game for Spain. And you can hear the murmuring here in Puerto Rico among the fans and probably the players in the dugout murmuring silently like, what's going on here? Because all of a sudden each team's got 4 hits, and the potential tying run in the ball game is coming to the plate for Spain here in the 6th inning.
All of a sudden you have Puerto Rico talking strategy here on the defensive side.
Now, do you bunt here with Yasser Gomez, a speedster, hitting second, and Paco Figueroa, a number 3 hitter, coming up next? You'll be the manager for Spain. What do you do?
I'm bunting. If I use a pinch runner to lead off this inning, I'm bunting right here.
Gomez has struck out, grounded out. Andy Gonzalez at third base, playing in at that 45-degree angle. They charge. He tried to put it down to third and foul it back. So Spain trying to make a move here and get on the board. That'll bring Avila's the shortstop in to talk to his pitcher.
So they have played themselves into this situation here where fundamentally got to go out there and execute. But they have caused this to their credit. Not down 8-0, 10-0. They have worked themselves to this. Now is an opportunity to go out there and keep it as simple as possible and play the game right.
Carlos Rivera, first baseman, charging hard. They'd like to get that force out at third base if they can keep Gonzalez back there. Squares very early. Meant it and popped it up. Ooh. Failure to execute. Yasser Gomez retired as they give away an out right there on that pop-up bunt.
All you got to do is look at that barrel. What does it do? As long as that barrel drops, you're asking for trouble getting under that baseball.
Andy Gonzalez, third baseman, coming in. Relatively easy play and nowhere to go for Figueroa at second.
So it happened last night too with Eric Ibar. An attempt at bunt for the Dominican team that Venezuela pitcher allowed to drop and got a force out on.
The little things that make a difference in a ball game. Now Paco Figueroa will stand in. One away. Runners remain at first and second. He has struck out twice, both times called. Breaking ball. There's that hook you were talking about, Jose. That's in there for a strike.
When he throws that pitch early in the count, he'll set it up for later too. But look at that big hook, 12-6.
That will tie you up a little bit. 0-1 the count. Figueroa breaking ball. Molina's there to knock it down. Holds the runners at first and second base.
Well, Molina's been busy and he wants to be busy. I mean, that's just the trust that he creates with his pitcher, especially in crucial situations. Go ahead and bounce it. I will be right in front of it. Why? Because these are pitches that he wants hitters to be chasing that anticipate and prepare for changing of the eye levels.
Figueroa, 1-1 strike count. They've got the hitter up there who's gotten it done for him. He had that .438 average in the qualifier. Paco Figueroa was their top hitter in the World Cup in '09. Played for Southern Maryland of the Independent Atlantic League last year. And he's been the big bat. See if he can get it done here. Here's the 2-1 delivery to him. Figueroa will bloop it towards short. It's going to take a hop. They're going to get 1 and 2. Whoa, what a break right there. As the opportunity for Spain to maybe get in this ball game. The bunt that wasn't laid down and the double play made right here. Aviles gets it over. Third baseman, the tag Gonzalez, and the inning just like that is over. Puerto Rico remains on top 3-0. 3 runs and 4 hits on the board. Puerto Rico, no runs, 4 hits and an error for Spain. And another opportunity for them lost in that last inning for Spain to get on the board. Now Puerto Rico really wants to put some more runs up. Getting a little too close as far as they're concerned.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, Spain's not backing away from anything.
Salazar, Richard Salazar doing the pitching. He's thrown 38 pitches. He's done a good job.
Gary, to me, he has been the key. He has kept this game exactly where it is. And has sent a very quiet, subtle message to his teammates.
We're in it.
Yes.
As Daniel Figueroa came on to run, stays in the ball game in left field. Salazar has been really impressive. Came on for Sergio Perez, who worked 2+ innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 hits. Yikes. 1-2. Or 2-2.
Looking breaking ball, leaning out over the plate. Get out of the way. Keep in mind that a warning has been issued already here in this ball game, but it is a discretion call if somebody does get hit.
Umpires got to believe it was intended.
Yes.
Then the pitcher and manager get thrown out. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be inside 3-2. Salazar, since coming on, has given up 1 hit. He's got Rivera, Gonzalez, and then Pagan at the top of the order due up for Puerto Rico. 3 ball, 2 strike count.
He has to beat me here with a breaking ball. Reason is, of course, you know, Rivera's seen many pitches. Obviously, he's looking middle out. You already shown the fastball inside. Well, make sure you stay away from his power. If you're going to use it, make him beat you the other way with a breaking ball. Now he can go fastball.
3-2 delivery again and shattered the bat. Slow roller, circled well though. Play made by Jesus Mearsham. Gets it. Rivera's retired.
Great job with that fastball, well located.
Well, you take a look at how this ball game got started in the first inning after Pagan let it off. Beltran got the double and an RBI, and then we had Rios get hit by a pitch. There were 2 of them in each of his first 2 at-bats. That's why the warning was issued. A little retaliatory act right there had to be done. That was in the 3rd inning. And Suarez got hit by a pitch. Rios appreciated his pitcher standing up for him, so a little hot sauce added to the ball game in Puerto Rico.
Good old street ball right there. Let the kids play.
And they have.
Gotta love it.
Andy Gonzalez, number 9 hitter. He has struck out, grounded out. He'll take the fastball up high, and it goes to 1-1. 10 of the 28 players on this Puerto Rican team are on a major league roster at the time. So they've got some major league numbers as far as the players are concerned. Spain nowhere near that. They are mostly minor league players and some young players.
In fact, Spain added 6 players to this WBC roster since they qualified back in September. It's the ever-changing roster for Team Spain, but they welcome it.
Who are you and why are you here? A 1 ball, 2 strike count on Andy Gonzalez. And that pitch is going to be outside. Nieto going out to get it. That'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spain has a national TV outlet that is following them around. They were in Jupiter and they're here showcasing this ball club, showing Spain what their team is doing here in Puerto Rico. Ball in the air to center field, straight away, and Gonzalez retired as Beltran's there to get it, and there are 2 down. Here's what's happened here in this ball game. You see the numbers on the line. The starter, Giancarlo Alvarado, good job for Puerto Rico. Top 4 batters for Puerto Rico, 3 for 7, 3 runs scored, and they are 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They've left 7 on base. They've had chances. They really haven't had anything going, though, since the first 2 innings when they left the bases loaded in each of the innings. Since then, it's been a even-up game. Fastball at the knees, in there for a strike. Anel Pagan. Pagan, the leadoff batter, single scored in the first inning, walked stranded in the second, and flied out to left his last time up. Oh, 1 delivery. You been down to Old San Juan yet?
Not yet, but you keep bringing me some good reports.
I'm a big fan of Old San Juan. It's a beautiful area, and it is old. And they have a great little street corner cigar maker who I like to visit. He rolls the cigars out of the street and has a little booth set up. He's been there for a long time and makes some classic cigars. Nobody asks where the tobacco comes from. You just watch him roll it, pay him $7 or $8 for the cigar, and enjoy it. If it happens to be Cuban, voila.
It just happens to be Cuban.
That's right. And that pitch is taken up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They also have, of course, they're noted for the rum made here. There are a couple of spots where you can go to visit the distilleries down there. I, of course, would not do that because they have tasting. booths available, and I would want to do that. But if you would like to go, you might want to take that in.
Do we have to? Oh, look at this. The fresh pina
Yes, they do serve those here.
Pina coladas.
Pina coladas.
A little frozen action there.
2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down.
You know something I don't know?
No. Believe me when I say that.
I think, that's what makes this venue so good. And, talking to so many people that come in and out from the United States, there's no customs, there's no immigration. You just come in here and, in and out easy. Great venue for this event.
We'll find out when I try and leave with what I bought. Here's the 2-2 delivery. It is swung on and missed. What a job Salazar's doing. He gets the strikeout. He retires the side in order. And Spain now just needs that one big hit to try and put something on the board. 3-0 Puerto Rico.
Still 3-0 is Puerto Rico over Spain. What a good ball game this has been. If you take away for Spain, Gary, in that first inning, they have been right in it with every single pitch, every play.
We go to the 7th inning, and the breaking ball in there for a strike. Aaron Burgos with that breaking ball. 23 pitches thrown so far into the bullpen. Pretty good relief work here on both ends of it for these teams. Canizaro's got the single in the 4th inning. That one right off the end of the bat. You talk about a cue shot. He's checking, see whether or not he might have chipped it at the end of the barrel.
Interesting you mentioned bat, because as we look at the replay here, way ahead of this one, he's thinking one thing, where it says El Novo Dia way out there in left field. But Canizares uses a bat given by his good friend Kendrys Morales, Seattle Mariners first baseman DH.
That got him. Now see, here's the situation.
Discretion.
With discretion, where there, even though there's a warning out, it applies to all pitchers for the game. Even though there's a warning, they're not going to throw the pitcher out because there's no intent to hit here. That's the decision of the home plate umpire.
That is a great job by Dan Bellino. I really applaud the way he reacts to this. He sees a fastball running in. He sees where Molina is setting in. No intent whatsoever. So it's not an automatic ejection.
So
Right
for the last two innings, Spain's been able to get the leadoff man on base. Can they take advantage of it here?
That one still stings.
Yep. Take one for the ball club right there. Here's Rafael Alvarez. He has popped out, grounded out. Spain's not going to get these kind of chances every inning. They need to take advantage of something here and get on the board. That's going to be foul back.
With a guy like Rafael Alvarez, you can see how bulky he is and how strong he is. A career minor leaguer who has the ability to drive the baseball. This is where you look. One big swing at this stage of the game. Be selective and aggressive to a certain zone. Think extra bases.
Alvarez waiting on it. It's there. Good fastball, kept down low and inside. And the count goes to 0-2. In a ball game the most people expected not to be very close, as here in the 7th inning become a very tight contest. We'll see if it stays that way. Runner at first, not going anywhere. Here's the 0-2 delivered, and went outside with it and missed. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Pretty good pitch though.
Close enough. Bellino almost called it. Great job following that all the way.
Alvarez has played in the Venezuelan Winter League since 1994. Every year. Another one of those players with winter ball experience who comes in just having completed what for them is a season. 1 ball, 2 strike count. 18 years in the minors. You got to want it bad.
Got to love the game.
Yep. That's Rafael Alvarez at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery to him, and that's going to be inside as there goes working here location wise, in and out, up and down, and to keep these hitters off balance.
And it's all for that, Gary. Off balance, offset timing, because he wants to go to his bread and butter. The 12-6 curveball and that good changeup.
DH Sanchez waiting on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alvarez goes through that one, and he strikes him out.
He had him set up exactly the way he planned it, and Yadier Molina convincing him and executing that pitch well from behind the plate. Looking at this game for Spain so far, Beltre, Cañizares, Sanchez, and Suarez will base hits. Suarez now out of the ball game, but Cañizares makes history. First base hit for Team Spain ever in the WBC. That came back with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Where's the ball? Y la pelota. ¿Dónde está? At least save it for us.
Yes. Put that away in the Spanish Baseball Hall of Fame.
Send it to the king. By the way, they play the Copa del Rey. That's their season's about 36. What's going on, Gary?
Oh, I'm in complete agreement with you.
They play their tournament at home. It's 36 ball games, and it is called the King's Cup, like Copa del Rey. Now, figure this out. There's a team that went 32-4, and there's a team that went 2-34. And Mazzotti was telling us when you asked him, what do you compare the level to? He goes, not even high A.
No, he's a very honest, realistic manager. So the teams in Spain were nowhere near major league level. He said we may be A ball, high A ball. So that's where we are. And with the financial problems we mentioned earlier, it has become even more difficult to fund the necessary facilities and games that need to be played. But you know, if Spain was able to do something in this WBC, what an effect that would have on baseball in Spain. And a strike taken. The Netherlands has proven how much it can matter, because the Netherlands, with their success back in '09, and now they're doing it again in this World Baseball Classic, as a result of their success, the government has built a $13 million baseball-only facility for the Netherlands, and it really is all because of what they've done in the World Baseball Classic.
Expanding the game globally, and it has served a tremendous purpose internally for those nations.
Sanchez with a big cut fouls it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little look back at the qualifier. Off the mound, they weren't supposed to win. Israel was supposed to be the team to qualify out of that group. España got the final out and celebrated their first appearance World Baseball Classic on their way.
Ivan Granados on the mound celebrating that one.
Now trying to put away a win here, or get a run on the board at least to get close to Puerto Rico here in the 7th inning. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be fouled out. Keep in mind, this team from Spain in the exhibition games lost by a combined score of 29-7 against the Pirates and the Orioles in the 2 games they played, 2 exhibition games. They haven't had very much time to be together to get things done, but well, you wouldn't know it the way they're playing right here. Gargos on the mound, up to 36 pitches thrown in this relief appearance. He, like the starters, can go up to 65. 2-2 delivery on the way, and did he foul it off? I think he did.
That's a heck of an effort right there by Sanchez.
Bats all the way on the other side of the mound.
Use every single inch of your bat to make contact. Look at this. Beautiful.
Talk about saving your at bat. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can see now how each of these at bats becoming more pressurized for both the batter and the pitcher. They're really battling here in the 7th inning in a 3-0 ball game. Runner at first, still there. Cañizares. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. Pagan will play it in, and again, as happened in the 6th inning, a couple of hits in the inning, 2 on, 1 down here in the 7th.
No surprise for Sanchez at 368 in the qualifier, as we just saw 2 in that highlight game winner against Israel. And yes, there should be a little concern now Manager Edwin Rodriguez, from what he's seeing, this fighting spirit from the Spaniards.
Well, let's see if they can do it. Let's push a run across.
Gary,
5 hits are out hitting Puerto Rico 5-4.
One big swing and a gap away from really believing.
And we'll get our first visit to the mound for Puerto Rico. They've had action in the bullpen. Randy Fontenez, the right-hander, Xavier Cedeno, the left-hander. And now late in the ball game, you really are talking about the matchups that you want to have here in the 7th inning.
You know, the best thing that's happened really for Puerto Rico and their ball club and their pitching plan is the fact that you've only utilized 2 pitchers and you are already in the 7th inning.
Ricky Bonas, the pitching coach, has his discussion. And with 2 on and 1 away, Jesus Mershon coming to the plate. Another veteran of professional baseball with a lot of minor league games behind him. Breaking ball is going to miss inside for a ball. Mershon has spent time with the Twins, Phillies, Mariners, Diamondbacks, Indians, Blue Jays, Marlins, Rockies, and Padres. Mercy.
At least for one swing, one pitch, look for the breaking ball.
2 on, 1 out. Up high, fastball, 2-0. Mershon has been a hitter in the minor leagues over 13 years, a .301 batting average in minor league play. He has grounded out and popped out in this ball game. Here's the 2-0 delivery to him. 3-0, and the fans now are really murmuring.
You can see the expressions of concern throughout this crowd here in San Juan. They did not expect to see this game this close here in the 7th inning. And all 3 of those runs for Puerto Rico came in the 1st inning.
When a crowd gets quiet in Puerto Rico, you know something's going on not good from their point of view. 3-0 the count. Taking all the way. It's in there for a strike. Canizares on at second base, hit by a pitch. Inesky Sanchez a single on at first and second rather. 1 out.
Do not start the runners, but as a hitter, you have to be super selective here.
Mershon waiting on a 3-1. Got it down to third base. Chance for 2. Gonzalez Falou. They get it. To Puerto Rico's credit, every time they have needed a big out, they have found a way to get it. The 5-4-3 double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Celebrate the defense. 7th inning stretch time here in Puerto Rico. Home club on top, 3-0. So a big double play to end the inning. 7th inning stretch time for the fans. 3-0 lead. Puerto Rico leading Spain. And we go to the bottom half of the inning. Falou leading it off. Rios and then Beltran are due up. Puerto Rico's left 7 on base. Spain is now left 4. Bunting for the push bunt base hit. Nice play. Team of Puerto Rico, the coach said this morning, is based on defense.
Started from the very first hitter, and now this could be the last hope as they take care of the 5-4-3 double play against Team Spain. They had it all set up, 3-1 count. I think that was not big. Oh yes, it was huge.
Edwin Rodriguez, their manager, said, I told them from the beginning, we're going to be a ball club where defense is going to be first, and you have to make a commitment to playing D. And that is exactly what they have done in this game, and it's made the difference. To Carlos Baerga, one of the coaches. That's going to be a base hit. Rios had that one lined up. Rios gets his first hit of the ball game after being hit in his first 2 at-bats.
You know, and that's perhaps, Gary, the first time that I'm going to say that the defense could have burned Spain. Rios is a good power hitter, drives the ball, and where the shortstop Sanchez likes to play, he was not even close to making that play.
Each team now with 5 hits in the ball game. Beltran gets another chance. 2 RBIs, double in the first inning. Walked intentionally in the second, flied out in the 5th. Salazar on in relief, approaching the 60 pitch point. He's got 65. Under the rules, he's allowed to throw in the ball game. He came on for Sergio Perez, and he's done a great job. Towering pop-up, first base. Canizares in foul territory, puts it away. Beltran is retired.
Team Puerto Rico and what they have done so far, big contributions from the top of the lineup. They've been quite busy. And overall, they were able to capitalize on those 3 runs in the first inning. A couple of walks, a batsman, and an error. It's been a well-balanced attack, I would say, as we heard the word balance so much this morning from manager Edwin Rodriguez.
1 unearned run, part of those 3 that have been scored.
But just to think how this whole thing started with Sergio Perez going 62 pitches and to still be on pitcher number 2, it's remarkable for España.
Couple of throws over here with Molina at the plate. And Rios back to the bag. Rios stole a base, second inning. Really in response to being hit by a pitch for the second time. You can still see the concern over there in that Puerto Rican bench. Breaking ball is in there for a strike to Molina.
Gary, I've seen shifts, but look at this against Yadier Molina. Total opposite field in the infield.
They have played this way the whole game. Right or left-hander up, the shortstop's way over. Runner goes. They got him. And that will end the inning. So it'll be a caught stealing call since he was going, but it was Salazar who set it up with his throws over there. And again, only 3 batters come to the plate. Here in the 7th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Rios taken out on the throw, 3-0 Puerto Rico. And I want to remind you, coverage of the 13 World Baseball Classic continues later tonight. Chase Field, Arizona. Mexico looks to bounce back from last night's loss to Italy. U.S. makes their first appearance. And we will be back here in San Juan with a doubleheader tomorrow. It is Team Dominican won the opener against Spain. That'll be 11 a.m. Eastern, 16 GMT. Puerto Rico takes on Venezuela, the loser in that first game yesterday. 5:30 Eastern, 22:30 GMT. All coming up, big day. We go to the top half of the 8th inning. It'll be 8-9-1 in the order for Spain. Burgos on the mound in relief. 44 pitches thrown, 30 of them for strikes. That ball fouled down the line. Another play. Adrian Nieto doing the catching. Jesus Feliciano has come on to play in right field. A defensive change.
He's a good all-around player, very popular among the fans here in the island. They call him Motorita.
He comes on for Beltran. And a quick out right there. Strikeout, 1 away. Burgos gets his second. Well, the Dominican team is a powerhouse. Expectations very high for them in this 2013 World Baseball Classic, and they showed it against Venezuela in every way. Pitching, shooting stars out of the sky, and playing D. Fernando Rodney.
You just can't stop laughing about that. The whole show is just way too much.
Spain will be playing them. Trying to get some defensive changes. Carlos Baerga. I think they're going to swap the right and left fielder.
It's allowed. It's within the rules.
The guy in the center field who greets them as they go by. So Rios will go to right field. Feliciano will go to left field.
Again, just like a traffic cop saying, you go this way, you go that way.
You got a right-handed hitter coming up, and Daniel Figueroa is going to get his first at bat. Figueroa came on as a pinch runner and immediately pops it up outside of first base. Rivera puts it away for the out, and there are 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning. And those chances that came in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings for Spain, where they could not convert, may have taken the gas out of the balloon.
You know, for Mauro Mazzotti, it doesn't matter how this game ends. They have shown, and they can go back after this game and know that they have the ability to compete. Jittery first inning. After that, different ball game.
They have done a heck of a job.
And it's those little things, the small victories mentally that you got to take back and convince your team why you're here and why you made it here.
A defensive error, play not made, a pop up the catcher couldn't get, a bunt not laid down. Those kind of things have affected Spain's ability to put a run on the board. 2 down, nobody on. Beltre up. Beltre has had a single, 1 for 3.
I'll tell you one thing, Gary. The Texas Rangers have a jewel in this ball player right here. He is joyful. He brings a lot of energy. He is multi-talented, and he has fun playing the game. Still a work in progress.
What a great kid. Talked with him before the game. I mean, he's still got that pureness of attitude going as a youngster. He just loves playing. So excited about being on this ball club. Texas Ranger prospect, originally signed by the Red Sox, went in the Eric Gagne deal and just missed on that one.
And for Angel Beltre, he has been pretty much a triples machine throughout his career. And he says, well, it's very simple. I think gap to gap, and when I leave the box, I am thinking 3. That'll do it.
17 triples in the Texas League. Swing and a miss. There he goes, took that one away and picks up the strikeout. He's got 3 in the ballgame. What a relief appearance he's made. Retires the side in order. Puerto Rico 3 outs away from a win.
So this is how it all started. First inning, the jitters were on. First play not made. First batter of the ball game on the comebacker, and that pretty much opened the doors. Here's the error on the third baseman for Team Spain. After that, pop up, catcher overruns it. Well, you open up the door, and Mauro Mazzotti knew that led to 3 runs for Puerto Rico quickly, and that's where we stand right now.
As we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, Puerto Rico looking to put on some of those tack-on runs here. Yadier Molina will lead it off. Molina's reached on an error, lined out and grounded out. He's facing Eric Gonzalez, 26-year-old right-hander. And a ground ball to that big hole. There again, that defense going to cost him. Base hit. Molina's on.
You might make a couple of plays or 2 or 3, but eventually this game is about repetition. And if you're going to cheat this much, you're going to get burned. That's a routine ground ball to the shortstop. It turns into a hit.
The leadoff man on. Talking defense over there on the Spain bench. That'll be hit number 6. Avila's coming up. RBI and a sac fly, flied out. Hit by a pitch. And the leadoff man on, and what could be a big run. With Puerto Rico leading it by a score of 3-0. They're going to play Jesus Marchand, the third baseman, about even with the bag, cheating a little bit on the pitch coming in, just in case there's a bunt. Not there. Foul tipped into the mitt for a strike.
Got him tied up a little bit, not being familiar with a release point on Gonzalez. Eric Gonzalez, by the way, the only member of this ball club born in Spain.
Aviles with the 0-1 will wait. Puerto Rico would love to be able to push across that one more run, or more obviously, but at least one more. Gonzalez, a Padres pick back in 08. A chopper back to him. Only plays at first. Barehanded. Got him. Nice play.
It almost works out like a sacrifice there for Team Puerto Rico. On another check swing, and certainly it goes back to just not seeing the ball well. And Gonzalez coming right over the top does a good job fielding his spot, starting with a baseball bare hand, firing away.
We will get for Puerto Rico now, pinch hitter Eddie Rosario, and maybe a pitching change to go along with it. Zadi out, wants to make the move here after the announcement on Rosario coming on as the pinch hitter. So playing this one right down to the wire as we are in the 8th inning. Man on at second base, one away, 3-0 lead for Puerto Rico.
Well, a lot of pride here with the Molina family represented. Jose Molina on the right, Yadier on the left, and keeping a close eye back in Jupiter, Florida, from the St. Louis Cardinals spring training facilities and all around that town is Benji Molina, a fine catcher himself, who now will be an assistant hitting coach, Gary, with the St. Louis Cardinals. How about that, having your brother with you all the time?
Well, we'll see.
Might be Yadier introducing Benji to the coaching ranks in St. Louis. And their father, now the part of Benjamin Molina, a well-known amateur player here in Puerto Rico.
Eddie Rosario had been announced as a pinch hitter with a pitching change now. Martin Maldonado will come on as a pinch hitter for Rosario. Never got to the plate. So the managers matching up here. We are hoping this is Ricardo Hernandez on the mound. I say hoping because he's supposed to have a different number on, but he's wearing 94 instead of 21. But he's the only other left-hander we've got listed in the bullpen. So welcome, Ricardo Hernandez. I hope it's you. A strike on the inside corner.
We know it's a Hernandez. Do you have the right Ricardo?
Yes. Thank goodness the names are on the jerseys here. Runner at second base, one away, 8th inning. There he goes. Throw to third and not in time. Hernandez was not looking back at second base, and how about that?
Smart ball player to do smart moves at the right times. That's how you play the game. Championship mentality all the way there for Yadier. And boy,
almost came off the bag. That's what Merchant was arguing about, that he came off the bag and I tagged him. So now that changes it all. The infield's drawn in. Maldonado with an 0-2 count. And we'll take the pitch inside for a ball. So a single. A little ground ball moved into second, and he steals third.
And he was off the bag.
Yeah, he was off the bag. I don't know if he tagged him. It's hard to tell whether he had the tag on when he was off the bag. I don't know. They almost got his hand stepped on too.
Well, Yadier was flying.
Maldonado, the 1-2 delivery to him. He went after it. He's gone. So Hernandez gets the strikeout here in the 8th inning. 2 down.
Seen a lot of this here today. High fastballs and guys either checking their swing or not being able to hold off.
Boy, they want that run. Maldonado goes down as a pinch hitter, and we may get another pinch hitter here in a matchup against the left-hander. Luis Figueroa is coming up for Carlos Rivera.
Another experienced bat for manager Edwin Rodriguez. Popular Huicho Figueroa coming up. Now, because of the steal by Yadier Molina, now there's way more pressure on the catcher Nieto and also on the pitcher Hernandez. Remember, Molina will anticipate anything on the dirt. It is a big run represented down at third base here with 2 outs.
Luis Figueroa, the veteran. Puerto Rican native will stand in and try and pick up a very big, potentially big RBI. 2 down, runner at third base. Infield backs up. Except at third, where Marchand has to respect Figueroa's speed in case he wanted to lay down a bunt even with 2 away to try and get a base hit. So they'll keep him in at even with the bag at third. Left-hander Hernandez. Here's the 1-0. That's called getting around in the ball.
It's called cheating. But cheating the fairway in baseball. You're cheating looking in. Let it fly. When you come off the bench, you want to go out there and hack.
Got to get a base hit in order to get that run in. Memories or professional photography. Pitch is taken away. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Or take your spots.
That's pretty good access.
Manny Crespo, long time baseball assistant.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Runner off third base. 2-1 delivery. Another fastball up high. 2-2. Oh, Figueroa trying to chase one and drive it. Couldn't get any of it. Andy Gonzalez waiting on deck, the number 9 hitter. Molina off third base. Popped him up. Somebody call for it. Oh my. Third baseman does. Marchand came over to get it, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Runner left on at third. So for Spain in their first ever appearance of the World Baseball Classic. 3 outs to work with, trailing in the ball game 3-0. So changes here as Gonzalez is going to move over to first base. Andy Gonzalez with Rivera out of the ball game. Luis Figueroa will take over at shortstop for Aviles. Mike Aviles will move over to third base. Those are the defensive changes. Here we go. 9th inning. Spain. See what they can do with it. Gomez leading it off. They got the middle of the order. 2, 3, 4 due up. Burgos remains on the mound. He's thrown 53 pitches. 65 is the limit. Line to short. Perfect positioning. Figueroa 1 down.
That ball hit right on the button by Gomez. Figueroa well positioned.
It's going to be interesting because of the pitch limits. The official score decides winning and losing pitchers based on performance. It's going to be tough. If in fact Puerto Rico wins this, Alvarado had to find 4 innings, gave up only 1 hit. Burgos has come on and worked 5 innings. If he was able to finish.
Gary is going to be easy for me. I'm going Alvarado all the way.
Set the stage with his start. Paco Figueroa. He has struck out a couple of times. Fielder's choice, goes after it, misses. So it's got to really help the batters to have the police car lights and a yellow circling light going on underneath the batter's eye in center field.
Well, it's another parking lot light wearing back there.
That's got to be a bit annoying. And an 0-2 count. And did he go? No. Jesus Miller at first base.
Well, one of the lights moved.
Shut the yellow one off anyway.
Batters from Team Spain, they don't know any better. How would he be in this situation right now?
Figueroa, the 1-2 delivery to him. Breaking ball, it'll go to third base. Aviles. 2 down.
Really impressed on how Edwin Rodriguez has moved his pieces around defensively, and more impressed, Gary, by this young man on the mound. My goodness, he is a jewel. We have that presence on the mound that Burgos has, the command of every pitch, the calmness, and the ability to throw strikes. You got something going for you.
Hasn't walked anybody. 3 strikeouts. 4 hits off him. 2 down. Puerto Rico on the verge of going 1-0 along with the Dominican Republic here in this pool play with a doubleheader coming up tomorrow. Dominican Republic against Spain, Puerto Rico against Venezuela. And foul back on a heater. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Canizares at the plate. Rodriguez hoping for a win. 2 teams move on out of each pool. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Fastball just missed outside.
Gary, and the quicker they can get on this field, to me, the better, and bring that whole good feeling into tomorrow early against the Dominican.
Another breaking ball, swung on a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Look at that look.
And Azaro's trying to go after it. 60 pitches thrown, so Burgos should be able to finish it off. He can go to 65, and the crowd wants him to. Give Spain a lot of credit. In their first appearance in a WBC game, they had chances. They could have put some runs up on the board in the middle part of this ball game. On the other hand, give Puerto Rico credit. They pitched out of jams and played some outstanding defense. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Canizares waiting, and he'll walk. Not done yet. However, gonna have to make a pitching change.
Boy, 4 balls, and it changes the whole complexion of this inning immediately.
Yep.
And of your bullpen. Now, Aaron made it very clear with us this morning that there's certain guys that he will bring in only if one of the 2 guys, Alvarado Burgos, could not finish an inning.
That's exactly what's happened. So, pitching change, 9th inning, 2 down, 1 on. Puerto Rico leading. So, an outstanding relief job. There goes the 25-year-old right-hander. Solid 4 2/3, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 4 hits. He carried him through here, but he reached the pitch limit in the 9th inning with 2 down. So they will go to Xavier Cedeno.
At least he gets his feet wet here in the WBC game number 1 at home. And Cedeno, an experienced lefty, has one job to do. Come in here, throw strikes, and seal the deal.
Houston Astros relief pitcher last year. 31 innings with the Astros, 36 strikeouts in 44 appearances. Had a 0-1 record, 3.77 ERA. And here is Sullivan Enriquez, who will come on as a pinch hitter in the DH spot.
Your team Spain, that's where you're looking for. One more opportunity.
Trying to get that potential tying run to the plate with 2 down in the 9th inning. Runner at first base. That'll miss for a ball. He will gladly take a walk if he can get it here. Bring that potential tying run to the plate.
And Mr. Clutch on deck too.
Inside to him, and he held up 2-0. Another career minor league player. Enriquez, 953 minor league games in 12 years. Last year's all over the place. American Association, York, in the Independent League, the Atlantic League, and then went to Mexico City all last year. Cedeno trying to finish it off. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down. Dennis Arizon at first base for Spain. 2-2.
That is a very good swing. Why he stayed behind the ball, and with lefty having that fastball tailing away, he had a good idea and trying to go gap to gap or the other way. Not just trying to punch it, he's trying to drive it.
Two-two delivery, and that's the ball game. Cedeno comes on and gets the strikeout on the home team, and Puerto Rico shuts out Spain 3-0.
Well, they anticipated the win, but maybe not this close. Tip your hat to Team Spain and the battle they put up here pretty much throughout the night. You take away that first inning, and this is a very close ball game all the way around. Nonetheless, there is a winner, and it is the team at home who takes this first ball game for Team Puerto Rico. Well executed all the way around.
Espana gave it a chance. Cedeno coming on and doing what he needed to do to finish this off, even though he fell behind in the count. So Puerto Rico in 3 World Baseball Classics remains perfect at home. They have won all 7 games that they have played here on their home field over the 3 World Baseball Classics that they've been involved in.
In round number 1, they pretty much have been an unbeatable ball club all the way around. This makes Puerto Rico 9-4 overall as a ball club in the World Baseball Classic. In trying to turn the page, this is certainly a great beginning for all of them. And they know the challenges are going to get stronger and stronger and tougher as this tournament advances.
I want to remind you, coming up, USA is going to have their first appearance as they will take on Mexico tonight, 9 Eastern, 2 GMT time, coming your way from Phoenix. Tomorrow we've got the doubleheader here. The Dominican Republic 1-0 will take on Spain. Puerto Rico 1-0 will take on Venezuela 0-1 as pool play will continue. Our coverage later tonight and then tomorrow. We hope you'll join us. That game tonight, USA's got Gallardo going against R.A. Dickey. Ought to be a good one. We'll be back here in San Juan, full day, 2 games starting tomorrow with that Dominican-Spain game. That'll be at 11 Eastern, 16 GMT time. Thanks for being with us, everybody. For Jose, I'm Gary. Adieu.